Our final award will be presented by Bill Gray, and the presentation of the David W. Taylor Medal will be given to Peter Tang-Jensen. Bill?
Thank you, Pete. I'm over here.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a privilege and an honor for me to present SNAMY's oldest and I believe most prestigious award to my friend and colleague Peter Tang-Jensen. You've got details of his impressive and varied achievements in your program, so I'll only give you a few reminiscences, mainly from experiences that I shared with Peter in Denmark. In the early 1980s, when visiting a wonderful Captain Troels Dilling, who was the favorite captain in the A.P. Muller fleet, Commodore, when he had become the managing director of Lindo Yard, Werft, and Peter Tang-Jensen was there. I was there one day, and he said, "I want to put you in the hands of the most important man in this yard." That was Peter Tang-Jensen. Peter started by showing me a wonderful spiral-bound, handwritten presentation tablet. This pre-PowerPoint marvel explained how Lindo Werft worked about design, steel, equipment, money, people, everything. I learned more about ship design and shipbuilding that day than I had in the previous 20 to 30 years or so. Then we took a walk around the yard itself. Some highlights were this. It was a remarkably clean shipyard. There were very few people. Everyone in the yard knew Peter and were happy to see him and me in the yard. There was a wonderful model shop for tricky outfit areas and like that. There was very early use of computers, computer-run cutting and lofting. Later, they pioneered robotic welding, very large blocks, and wonderful handling equipment, and excellent workmanship and coatings. And I did read at one point something where they said the cost of the ship, labor coming from Lindo Werft was about 17% of the cost. I doubt that many other shipyards can come even close to that. Back at the huge drawing room, they still called it, were hard-hatted workers working right alongside the naval architects and marine engineers, and they were perfecting the detail and working drawings. The things that made the production work were developed in that place with the people that were going to do it. Clearly, I was in the most efficiently run shipyard I'd ever seen, and that a lot of people feel was in the yard. Now, I'd just like to list a few of the many achievements Peter's had. He had, before coming to Lindo Werft, designed many different types of merchant ships at 3 yards in Denmark. Their largest, and then he did, at Lindo Werft, the largest container ships, Regina Maersk, and then the Emma Maersk, still the biggest. The first double-hull VLCC, the Elio Maersk. The first blocks for that double-hull VLCC had already started at Lindo Werft a few months after the Exxon Valdez in anticipation that double-hull tankers would become a must. More recently, where Peter is Senior Vice President and Chief Technology Officer at American Bureau of Shipping, he's been working on other things like design of low block coefficient container ships, ABS's work on green design criteria at IMO, working with Hank Marcus and Keith Michel at Herbert and MIT on what better ships we should have 20 or 30 years from now. And somewhere along the line, Peter also found the time to serve in the Danish Navy. In addition to these specific achievements, Peter has over the years contributed a lot of time to a wide variety of business, educational, and technical activities as board member, advisor, or contributor to classification societies, business endeavors, educational institutes, and these in Denmark and many other parts of the world. One final example of an unusual accomplishment of Peter's ability to solve major problems was when the U.S. Secretary of the Navy calling upon Peter and having him visit Lindelwerf because he was unhappy with poor quality and schedule and budget overruns from large American shipyards for the Navy and Coast Guard. I thought it was significant that he was picked out of all the people in the world to help the Secretary figure out what to do with these things. So finally, Peter is a delightful guy who I know is a devoted family man. And let me introduce, and I want to introduce to you him first. But first, before we get to the Taylor Medal itself, I've got for you, Peter, where are you close by? Okay. I managed to find in my file a nice obituary and other article about David W. Taylor. Tells you a few of the things about David W. Taylor, for whom the medal was named. I also found in my collection a first edition, 1910, Speed and Power of Ships. I think most of us know that from David W. Taylor. Those, and then because maybe a little comic relief is good, in Denmark there is a wonderful place called the Three Musketeers where the Peruna Jazz Band played. Well, I have a jazz band, and we made one record, and you're going to get this too, Peter. Okay. All righty, where's the medal? Where's the medal? It's right there. Oh, my gosh. Okay. This is the important stuff here. All righty. Okay. How do we do this? Like this? Okay.